Are you an angel?
I heard your prayer, Sarah.
I think the church's prayers have gone unanswered.
God stopped listening to us a long time ago.
Do not be afraid.
All right, welcome. Tyler just got here. Very cool. I'm adding him. There he is. How's it going,
What's
man?
up? Howdy.
Howdy. Hey, how do I sound?
Sound good?
Cool. I got a microphone
The
You can
future
see it.
is now.
right here. It's cool. It has this cool red light facing me, so it's black and red. It's starting. I'm gonna have to take a whole black and red interior, like demonic shit. So how you been today? It's Sunday. We finally have a Sunday. It's not a Wednesday or a Thursday or some damn thing.
Yeah, doing good. Took care of my usual chores, so I guess
Cool.
I'm ready for the fun of another work week.
That's you, Commander Fun. That's your name. Command. You know, you see this little the little alias at the bottom, aka Aecentric.
Yeah,
That's what you should do for yours.
make
Because
it-
you can type that in, you know. When you like
yeah, yeah.
you need to put in aka Commander Fun.
I put that in some of my posts on X. I'm always talking about do something. That's a direct order from Commander Fun.
Dude, it's so simple and stupid, but shit like that cracks me the fuck up. I mean, I literally, because I remember when you did it the first time, it was for one of these streams, and you're like, that's an order from Commander Fun. I don't know why it hit me funny. It just, I don't know. I'm simple.
Well, I can't
I'm
take
easily amused.
I can't take credit for that. I got that from the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie. I
Really?
don't know if you ever saw that, but there's a
Never heard of
scene
it.
where there's like these crazy ass aliens, and they're on a roller coaster, and
Yeah.
they're going up to the top. And right when they get to the top, and they're about to topple over, he's like, "Put your hands into the air. That's a direct order from Commander Fun." And then they go flying down.
That's awesome, man.
So I just remember that from my childhood.
That's cool. Yeah, I hear you. So, all right. First, let's do since it's Sunday, we can actually do the Sunday salute. And so, obviously, you're here. I'm not sure if it says someone's watching. I have no clue who. So, Sunday salute's my brother. My brother's supposed to be in here chatting. Danny said she might be here. I have no clue because it's different times for everybody, and I don't expect anyone to come in. Especially this one. Like, if you notice, I didn't even post this on X. I'm just like, this is casual. I ain't even gonna fucking make a post about it. If no one shows up, that's fine with me because it's kind of you and me doing our thing. And then the one person actually I'm getting a little concerned of is Vichy. I haven't talked or heard from Vichy, the composer, in I think over a month. And so I'm gonna have to shoot him a text, I think tonight or tomorrow, and say, dude, you okay? What's going on over there? Make sure he's cool. I'm trying to think who else. I don't know. Whoever else. Sunday salutes to whoever the hell's watching. So with that being said, the other thing I'm going to do real quick, what I'm doing is I'm watching other streams, not the big guys because, they're way too big for me, but kind of more the medium-sized streams and stuff, you know what I mean? And, sorry. Yeah. These headphones make my hair go everywhere. Sorry. So I'm kind of picking little things up from these other streams. And the one thing I keep forgetting to do is to promote my current Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that right now, real quick. So let me see if I can get this real quick. Let me see if this works. I suck. I'm getting rusty at this, as you can tell. Trying to share screen. Hold on. Screen sharing canceled. Share. Yep. Okay. Hold on. Share screen. Now, where is the? There it is. Ah, got it. Awesome. All right. Can we see that? Yep. There we go. Okay. So, can you see that?
Yep.
So this is the current Indiegogo campaign for Between Demons and Angels Volume 2. It is obviously the sequel to Volume 1, which we're kind of starting to cover tonight. And this is a trailer you just saw, et cetera, et cetera. I just kind of want to this is the cover, the front cover, back cover. See, Tyler, no cross this time. We got different symbols.
Now, are you going to go with that back cover for all of them moving forward?
Yes. Whoa, no. Every book is a different symbols for every book.
Okay.
So this book, for this particular book, is these 3 symbols. In fact, remember, I don't think I showed you. Maybe I did or didn't. The black and white one I want to do in the spring intervention. You saw that, right?
Yeah, it's like the Western kind
of
thing.
Yeah, it's this. It's just it's got a Western style to it, like a lot, you know.
Yeah.
That back cover. Did we talk about that? Was that you or someone else? I forget who the hell I talked to. Anyways, that back cover only has 2 symbols: your cross, your favorite cross, and a demonic symbol for that one. But most of the other books have the 3 symbols, and I want to make new ones every book. So, anyways, this is a variant cover. I finished this, I don't know, 2-3 months ago. It just focuses on the demons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all the demons so far that are up to this point. These 3 are in volume 1. This demon here is in volume 2. She's introduced in it, and along with this demon. So these are the kind of 2 new ones in volume 2. These ones are from volume 1. And it just goes into the story, and here's some interior. These are like splash page, you know, here you go, et cetera, et cetera. This is just, if anyone watches this and they haven't seen this, that's the only reason why I'm showing it. So, oh, and the trading cards are locked, which is a cool win. So this one everyone gets, Tursa. And now, Tyler, we're working on this one. May take a while, but I'm determined to get there. So there you go. If you want to check out some hardcore dark fantasy shit, go to Indiegogo, Between Demons and Angels Volume 2. And it's only $15, Tyler. 15. That's it. A lot of people are doing the 25 and 35 thing. But this is 48 pages, full color, and it's only 15. So
now
I'm trying to... What?
I was going to say, what if I don't have book number 1? And book number 2 looks cool, but I don't want to jump into the middle of the story.
Well,
is it possible to get your hands on the book 1 and
it is possible. Thank you for bringing that up. Because right now, in addition to Between Demons and Angels Volume 1, there's also this campaign, which is, let's see, is it showing it? Let me get it back. Whoops, okay, lost it. Hang on. Let me share this screen. I have like 4 screens open.
Oh, you good?
This is such a pain in the ass, dude.
Are you one of those people that has like multiple physical screens in front of you, or just one normal?
No, like one big computer screen. It's really big. Okay. Vichy Vichy's like, dude, I'll give you another screen if you want one. I said, what? He's like, He's like, I won't explain how, but he's like, I can get electronics.
Some people, they have like 3 of them all the way around them.
I've seen 2. Hang on. But I haven't seen 3. That's like a Mission Impossible movie, for Christ's sakes. You know, I mean, if you need 3 screens, you better be working for the CIA or something. If you're doing comics with 3 screens, come on. You know, honestly, what do you need that for? But whatever, man. You know, whatever makes people feel better. But to me, 2 would be a big step. But at this point, I don't need shit, dude. It's like I'm happy I got a microphone because I have a total following of 49 subscribers. You know what I mean? Dude, I get like 40 views. So I do not need to upgrade shit. You know what I mean? But
I've seen a couple of people on YouTube doing like kind of like advice videos, like how to get your channel big and stuff like that.
Right.
And one of the things I've come across a couple times is apparently, you know, there's a lot of people, and I guess I get it, but like people will spend tons of money on like expensive lights, a big expensive microphone, fancy cameras. Maybe they've got some type of nice studio set up, green screen. Right. They try to make it as professional as they can, and they think, well, if I spend all this money, then the universe will just spit out success in return. And it'd be like, wow, you did a good job. Here's success. And it's just like, not exactly how it works. So some of the biggest channels out there started with the most basic like webcam, and they just made it work.
Yeah. I've heard more than one, whether it's a talk show host or a podcast or live stream, the big ones where we're talking 6-figure subscribers or millions. And they say, look, you got to remember, I started off with like a laptop, you know, a crappy camera on the laptop, a little crappy microphone, and 10 people, 10 subscribers, followers, whatever. They said, we all start this way. Everyone. They said, no one just starts live streaming with millions of, followers.
I mean,
so
that's what I'm running right now. I'm using a laptop just sitting on my kitchen table. Yeah. And I got a small, it's called Logi, Logi.
Oh, yeah?
Just a little Logi cheap webcam thing, and the most basic microphone, and whatever this thing, I can't remember, Scarlett, whatever, just the most cheap, generic little sound mixer thing.
Well, you have it. I mean, it looks great. I was amazed by when I looked into my camera, and one, I couldn't believe how affordable it was. Because what I do when I search for anything, I go basically just to Google the web, and I say, the best webcam for live streaming, the best microphone for live streaming, the best lights for a cozy interior, whatever. And then I let Google give me the options. It says, oh, here's this on Amazon. Here's this on this. So I default to Amazon. I love Amazon, right? And everything's there. So then I look, and there's always like 6. Okay, like this mic, for example. The one I got is the best recommended, but there was like 6 of them. And of course, they range from cheap to mid to expensive, And I usually shoot for the mid, because the expensive, like the most expensive one, was like rainbow lights and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't need this. No one's going to see the bike. You know what I mean? It's for if you are a 6-figure, YouTuber. Okay, get all the bells and whistles. I actually love it. As you can tell, I love lights. I love fucking candles, all sorts of shit. But I ain't there yet, man. I'm just starting. I'm not 100% comfortable with this. Like, sharing screens takes a little while. And so I'm doing mid. I don't want to get cheap. Don't ever get cheap, because it's fucking cheap. You get what you pay for. It's going to suck. It's going to break and all this shit. So just get mid, And so that's what I do with everything. But back to you. We, as in you and I, our little insignificant asses, we don't have to spend a lot of money. That's a good thing, because we can afford to do this, and it still looks good. And look at the clarity. You sound great. You look great. Everything's cool. And this is for the basic stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is where technology is. Fortunately, technology is so affordable and high tech that even beginners have no problem affording it and doing it. So anyways.
There's some people that kind of take a pride in having low quality. I know
Really?
there's this one chick, I can't remember her name, but she's like a political chick, and she's been doing videos for close to 10 years. And I think she's been using the same camera the whole time. And so it's a camera from like 2010, and it's like really pixelated and crappy, and she just keeps using it, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's
nostalgic.
Yeah,
it's nostalgic.
Upgraded, everybody would be like, "Oh, this camera sucks." Right.
Now, have you seen? I've seen this on Twitter. There's an account. I forget what it's called, Pixel Art or something, where it is a thing now, a big movement where artists are drawing, computer art with pixels. Remember 20 something, well, I don't know, 25 years ago when video games were all pixels, the little squares, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it looked blocky and stuff. There are actual artists, that's all they draw, except it's like hyper detailed, but it's all pixel, right? Okay. So it's like they're going back to the technology 30 years ago, and they're saying, wow, this was really cool. Let's tweak it a little, but here it is. And the same with videos. I've seen some people where they like the scratchy, staticky kind of, it's like now it's cool to have cheap equipment because it's like a trend. You know what I'm saying? For some people, not everybody, but it's amazing.
It's aesthetic.
Yeah, it is. And it's like when I found out, this was a few years ago, dude, like original, whatever, Apple computers or whatever, with the box screens and they're going for thousands and thousands of dollars. These collectors are buying some of the old first shitty computer hardware, like they're collecting it, like it's like antiques, it's like history. But dude, we're talking like the tens of thousands. Like, so if you hung on to your shitty, 18K memory computer from 25 years ago, someone's willing to offer thousands of dollars for your little crappy box TV screen from 25, 30 years ago, dude, like 10 grand. It's insane. It's like, never throw anything out. I swear to God, it's like, be a hoarder, because as long as it's in good condition, 20, 30 years will be worth a lot of money.
So. Cars and stuff, cars do it too. Like,
oh yeah,
when a car first comes out, it's very expensive.
Right.
And then after about 10 years, it depreciates. It's tacky. It's dated. They're ugly. No one likes them.
Right.
After 20 years, it bottoms out. It's like that is so, the miles on any of those, they're garbage. They're so ugly.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time.
Exactly.
Then once you get to about 30 years, you start coming up in value. And you're like, man, that's the old school, man. It takes me back. And then it gets 40 years old, and you're like, man, that thing's expensive. You actually have one?
Yeah. And it's like the style. I mean, remember when I think it was the 90s when like fucking bell bottoms and the hippie shit came back into style. Like the clothing from like the 60s suddenly was cool again in like the mid to late 90s. And I'm like,
oh, you're thinking they weren't exactly bell bottoms. They were what's called Jinkos.
Yeah.
And, the Jinkos, they were big legged all the way down.
And
well,
all I remember is
and they're starting to come back right now, actually.
Oh, lucky us. The my girlfriend at the time, we were like rockers, leather and jeans and boots and all this shit. And so we had this whole 80s look to us, right? And people used to be like, wow, 80s rockers, rock on, man. And we're like, this was not even 20 years ago. Is it that out of date? You know what I mean? Anyways.
You got a battle vest?
Dude, I had a black leather vest. Yeah. Under my biker jacket. I'm talking about a
battle vest. The jean ones with all the band patches on them.
No. I had a black leather, and it was all real. I mean, I was like spending money on actual leather. A black leather vest, a biker jacket, boots with fucking chains and shit on them, and ripped jeans and fucking wallet chain, and you fucking name it. Like I just jingled when I walked down the street. I fucking jingled like goddamn Santa Claus. and heavy. It was like armor. I mean, I had to have like probably 15, 20 pounds worth of shit on me whenever I went out. You know what I mean? But we sure looked cool. At least we thought we did. And anyways, we just wore normal fucking jeans. I've always had Levi's 501s or 505s or whatever, just normal fucking jeans, right? And my girlfriend was doing the same thing. It came to this point in the 90s where there were no normal jeans for girls. They were all the low hip riding bell bottom like jeans because that style came back. And we literally had to drive outside of the city to the suburbs to find some wherever fucking jean warehouse to get her a normal pair of jeans because the city was nothing but the trendy jeans. You know what I mean? I remember her being so irritated and pissed. And I'm like, the fuck is going on? It's like the 70s was nasty. The style, butterfly collars and all this gross shit. Now it's cool. It's like, okay. So that's when I said, I'm sticking to my fucking style. And if people give me shit for being, hey, the 80s called, go back, I'll say, I fucking wish I could because this shit sucks. You know what I mean? So anyways, we're digressing, Tyler. Do you see how easy it is? We veer off course.
Cameras.
That's why I like having you on. See, I like having you on because anyone else would probably like fucking irritated. You and I are just like, yeah. It's like we fly off of Earth and we're flying to Mars together. Yeah, this is cool. Woo. And we don't have a fucking care in the world. And then we're like, wait a minute, we should go back. I guess we should. And then we come back to it.
I keep trying to tag Elon. I'm like, hey man, whenever you want to send someone to Mars, I'm your guy.
You're up for it. I honestly, I wouldn't do it. Mars is a whole other subject for another night. I have my theory on Mars. I have all sorts of shit we could talk about for an hour on Mars, but not tonight. So real quick, in answer to your question from 10 minutes ago, this is the Second Chance campaign, volume 1. And I played that trailer too. And it's just, this is the 80 pager, right? 20 bucks. This is the new cover for it. See, here's the new back for it. Different than yours. Interior art, et cetera, et cetera. So yes, if someone's like, hey, how does this shit start? Here's the actual finished book. They can go to on FundMyComic as well, my volume 1 Second Chance campaign. And then if that's cool, and just to let everyone know, when I get the, if someone orders the book, hey, okay, that next day, that book's being mailed to them. So they'll get it within like 5 days. So basically within 5 days of ordering it, it's at your home, even if it's like in fucking California. Now, if it's out of the country, that's different. It's probably going to be about 2 weeks, but there's that. So let's see here. Let me get rid of that. Where are we? Oh, we're back to this. Perfect. Okay. Now let's, we have any more in the chat? My brother's here, so say hi to my brother, Tyler.
What's up, man?
He was saying, oh, he loves your moth collection framed over your shoulder, by the way.
Oh,
so there you go.
All of these are butterflies.
Butterflies. Right.
Yeah.
They're butterflies, Rick.
Yeah. I'm in my dining room, and my dining room is all butterflies all around.
Really?
Going into the living room, that's where the butterflies are.
Wow. That kind of has a Silence of the Lambs vibe to it. You know
I have the Silence of the Lamb butterfly over there, or moth.
Do you?
There.
That's cool, man.
It's called
like in a frame.
Yeah. One second. It's called the Death Head.
Oh, Death Head moth, right? That's just cool. So Tyler's going to show us the Death Head moth that was the moth in Silence of the Lambs. No, yep, that's it. Dude. Holy shit, it really looks like that.
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude. It's got the skull on its back. Dude, that's cool.
If I can get it to focus there.
No, it looks good. Yeah, it's good. Good lighting, it's focus and everything. Dude, that's cool. Good for you. Wow. That's funny. I like it. I kind of jabbed you with a little joke, and you came right back and said, yeah, I got it. I'm like, good for you. All right, so let's get moving here. Okay, we're going to share screen. I'm going to share my Photoshop.
I'm back.
Welcome back. we're back to this. Okay. Yeah, this is I like this setup. You, me to the left, and this here. Okay, so we're just going to backtrack real quick. We don't have to really go over this, but we left off.
Second,
what's that
chapter? We was like in the middle of chapter 2.
Yeah, and that's what this is. This is chapter 2. So there's the title page, and then this is the opening page that we went over, and then the next page after that with this is the first angel to arrive. His name is Talanthea, and then he's admiring the beauty and peacefulness and tranquility of Earth, and he notices, three doves. They're doves. Three doves. It's rather symbolic because 3 angels are the first to arrive, and each angel is symbolized by a dove. So here's the second angel arriving, and that is his quote-unquote twin sister, I like to say, whose name is Celestian, who they have the same hairstyle and complexion, and they look kind of like brother-sister twins, and that was on purpose. That was not an accident. And here's the two of them talking by the sparkling stream, and we talked about the dialogue, how it's more in this book. It's like a novel, because I have the dialogue in quotes, and then it says his voice was deep and soothing. You know what I mean?
I like how you put the shine on the grass, so it's like morning dew.
It is, yeah. Like I said, I wanted everything to be happy. In fact, there is a deer in the background of one of these pictures. There it is, right there. See a little deer looking at him?
I see it.
So okay, I think we left off here because we talked about this, because you had mentioned I didn't have to put he smiled, because you can see he's kind of smiling, which is cool. I'm like, okay, I will remember that. But the thing is from volume 2 on, I'm not doing this format of dialogue and narration together like this. It's all narration boxes and dialogue under it. So I don't think I'll make a mistake like that again. All right, so Tyler, this is where we pick up.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll just enlarge this a little bit. Okay, as you can see, the two of them are happy and walking, and it's a sunny day, and there's your little deer, your little fawn looking at them. And of course, and she just comments, "It's beautiful here." She said quietly, "We're blessed to share his creation." Okay, so his means God. I don't use God much, if at all. The actual word, it's always described as his, as the one, right? Or his, or they'll often say, well, eventually as more dialogue happens, they'll refer to him as like Father or Almighty Father. Basically, I'm trying to avoid the word God. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I don't know why. That's just how it is. So then down here, subtle foreshadowing. They're walking into the woods. Okay, now here's your first kind of info. Our messenger angel, which is Tyler, you know who's the messenger angel.
Yeah, it's Alandis.
Right. Is waiting for us within the forest. Here's the forest. He noticed the approaching clouds in the distance. Elandis will lead us to the others. That's the subtle hint that darkness is coming. See, now it was clear blue skies and everything's shining. Now there's some clouds approaching. See what I'm saying? So right here, even here, you get the hint of cloudy skies. Not storm, just cloudy skies. So it's just the little touch of already the needle is going from everything's cool to the beginning of the darkness. See what I'm saying?
It's all right. And all these images are so bright and sunny, and then it shifts into hard silhouette.
I love silhouettes. If I could, I would do more, but I purposely don't do more because it's almost like a cop-out. It's an easy way out. It's you outline and you just fill in black, and that's it. But I love them because I think they're powerful. The contrast is awesome, and it can be realistic because like the volume 2, you saw the sunset picture of the thieves on the rooftop.
Yeah.
If you've ever looked at like something a city or whatever, during like sunset or sundown, it gives you a silhouette effect, because the light is not really hitting these objects or surfaces. So it's not like some, trippy, surreal thing. It's like, no, there's silhouettes at sunset and sunrise, like all the time. You know what I mean? So I try to use silhouettes sparingly because, again, I see it as basically lazy or whatever. It's like, okay, instead of actually filling in all the trees and them and stuff, I'm just doing black. But once in a while, it's kind of cool. And for this, the reason why I did it for this is, again, it's like the clouds it's starting to get cloudy now, and they're going into the woods. So it's getting slightly darker. You see what I'm saying? The story itself is just 0.01 darker now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the beginning of the darkness, I guess you'd say. Okay, so then here we are. So now they're in the woods. And I wanted this to be like an enchanted forest, almost like Disney-esque. You know what I'm saying? Well, Disney in the good old days, not these days. So you got little mushrooms on the trees, all the flowers, the pretty flowers, the little squirrel, the sunbeams, and then again to make them they almost look like ghosts. They almost look like spirits, because they're all white and stuff. This was the whole point was, and here's a dove. See this, Tyler?
Yep.
Right there. That is symbolizing Eolandis. There it is again. See? But this panel was actually cool because I wanted to show this colorful enchanted forest and all this shit. And the sunbeams are hitting them, and so their white clothing and armor would glow. Maybe not this much, but I wanted to show like these two have entered this forest, the sun is hitting them, and they're like these glowing spirits walking through this happy, enchanted forest with animals everywhere. And again, here's your other silhouette. There's a squirrel this time.
I definitely would say that your strongest I don't know, advantage, technique, whatever, is your ability to make light look like light.
Oh, cool.
You anytime there's light in this book, like it shines. It looks like I'm looking into a light.
I love that. I love light. Dude, my favorite part of a drawing is the last special effect touch-up, I call it. It's the glows.
Yeah,
all these glows. I love it. That's my favorite part of drawing.
To life.
Yeah, the glows are the fucking funnest. I wish I could do a drawing of nothing but like broken glass and crystal castles. There'd be fucking glows everywhere. I'd love it. You know what I mean? I really do. That's like my little high. It's like after all this is done, the last thing I do are the glows, no matter what it is. The very last thing I do is put glows everywhere. The more better. I love the glows. Anyways, so big spider here. See, so it's like natural. Okay, there's squirrels, there's spiders, there's a dove. You know what I mean? It's a normal, ancient, thick forest. And so okay, here you go. Back to the dialogue, Tyler. The people here, his children. See what I'm saying? His again. She's asking, are they far from this forest? And Thalanthia says, one of their villages is a short distance away. It is named Arcadia. Now, Arcadia is an actual existing town, city in the Great Lake region, Michigan area, Arcadia, Michigan.
Okay.
So if there's anyone from Arcadia who buys this book, just know this story is taking place right outside your town. So because of the dove that flies by, she senses Eolandis is here. And Tyler, you mentioned the eyes, right? And as you can see, here's the big blue eyes with reflections and all sorts of stuff. Eyes are very prominent in this book. Any comments, questions? You kind of already did, so we can move on, right?
Yeah, everything looks good.
Cool. All right, next. Here's more light, Tyler. So, okay, now
that's the main one I was referring to. Is that
really?
When he like, because I'm looking at the full book here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing like this light is just bursting through.
Yeah. Again, this is. I mean, you saw it before with the other two angels arriving, But this one, I really want to make it hit home because one, they're in the forest.
Yeah,
so there is
shadow. Yeah,
there's not as much sunlight. You know what I mean?
with.
And I wanted to say, okay, when these angels appear, it is like this burst of blinding white light. It's like, boom, there they are. And then they slowly walk out of the light. It's just, that's how I vision them arriving. So Elandis arrives. He is known as the messenger angel. And personally, I would love to redraw this, but I'm not going to because it would take forever. But this is old school drawing. This is on marker. You can even see my marker strokes. See? All the marker strokes. I do look like, especially look, check this out. Check that. See? That's actual marker. Dude, I was not digital coloring at this point. And it's amazing now because everything I color is all digital. I don't use any markers at all anymore. But anyways, so Elandis is known as the messenger angel. Now, if you notice him, Tyler, if you compare his armor and weapon to the other two, he's lighter. His armor is a little more streamlined, a little not as big and gaudy. His sword is actually shorter. You can't really tell yet compared to the others, but most of the angels' swords are maybe another half a foot longer than his. So he being a messenger angel, messengers need to move quickly, right?
Yeah.
So he has to have lighter armor, shorter weapons because he's faster, right? Now, again, this
scrolls here.
Yeah, a messenger who delivers messages. So I had to. That's a good. And this is a scroll case here. This is a big leather scroll case. These scroll cases, good observation, Tyler, because he has more scroll cases than the other angels because again he's the messenger. So that symbolizes he delivers messages. And yeah, he's got the whole ponytail thing with the gold clasp pony. Just again, I'm trying to make different hairstyles. They all have long hair, just to let you know. Every angel's got long hair, men and women. But I'm like trying to get different colors, different styles. It's without it being too stupid looking. You know what I mean? Like no mullets in the angels. I'm not doing mullets, obviously. No mohawks, no shaved head shit. It's all going to be very medieval, like long hair, ponytails, or long flowing hair, or maybe the samurai hairstyle. You know what I'm talking about, Tyler? You should know that.
Yeah.
Is that called a samurai hairstyle or what? Shogun? What is that called?
It's a weird kind of name. It's like Chongmeng. I can't remember what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Is there an American version term for it?
Not really, because it only exists in Japanese history. But you're talking about the hair that they had it's just around the sides, and the whole front and top is shaved, so it just wraps around like this.
No, I'm talking about
long and just puts in a ponytail up here.
I'm talking about the whole Jedi style, where it's very medieval. Swordsmen used to do it, where I could do it with my hair. I've done it before with Comic-Cons. I do it like the top and the sides you pull back and tie back here so that it's long. Like Qui-Gon Jinn from Episode 1.
Okay, yeah.
His hairstyle. That from what holy crap! Hey everybody, wow, the chat went nuts. What's going on here? Hang on, Tyler. Holy shit. What, Tyler, this is weird. Listen to this. John Martin. Welcome, John. Are you still here? If you're still here, John, say hey. This is really weird, Tyler. John Martin was the first friend I had in my life. Literally. He doesn't know this. So, John, if you're still listening, here's a little info for you. To the best of my memory, John was my first friend because our parents were friends, his parents and my parents. And so when couples they had kids the same time, their kids grow up and together and play and all this stuff, right? So in my life, John Martin was my first friend. And I don't know if John knows this, my saint name is because of him. And I feel a little guilty about that now. I thought John was so cool that when it came to, I was born and raised, Catholic. When it took First Holy Communion and you take your saint name, I chose Jonathan because of my friend John Martin. I shit you not. I don't think he knows this. So that's why, as a kid, I was, 6 or 7 when I took my saint name. I'm like, oh, my friend, his name's John. So I'm going to tell you that. That was my logic as a kid. But I liked, obviously, it's a cool name. So anyways, John, there you go. Because of you, I have the saint. My saint name is Jonathan, which is now legally my middle name, because I won't explain this, Tyler. But when I was 21, I legally changed my name. We won't explain why, but it's legally changed. So there you go. Wow. Welcome, John. This is great. Now, John, I know he's got the first 2 books. I'm pretty sure. John is an Etsy buyer. All right. He found me on Etsy and he got the book like, damn, what was that, dude? Like 3 years ago, 4 years ago on Etsy. So anyways, wow. It's been a while since we've talked. So welcome, John. Okay. Sorry, Tyler. This is actually a big deal for me because we go way back, man. We go way back.
Does he or anybody else got any questions in the chat?
I'm looking. My brother. Oh, he just took off. Hey, I gotta go, man. Oh, we are alone now. Well, shit. Everyone left, of course. Shit, I missed the chat.
Right before we.
Well, for anyone who watches, that's fine. Like I said, I have no problem if there's no one in the chat when we're doing this live, because the majority, I'd say like 80% of the views are afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, right, like you have like 5 to 10 views during the show.
Me personally, I hate live streams, like watching them, because
really,
I pretty much never like. What are the odds that I'm there waiting and it just pops up and it's like about to go live, and I'm like, cool, like I'm going about my way, watching stuff, doing stuff. And then I'll just stumble onto a live stream 25 minutes into it. And I'm like, well, I don't want to watch halfway into it. Mm-hmm. So I usually wait for the live stream to end, and then that's when I watch. But that's just
and that's why people announce it. Like all the big guys have their followers making AI art to announce their live streams tonight or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been very good about posting my live streams. This, in fact, is the very first one that I have not posted, because to me, it's like, one, it's laid back and casual. It's just you and me. And it's a continuation of whatever, a few days ago.
And it can be a bit of a test for you, too.
Actually, ironically, I had to test this new mic. You know, I had no clue how this sounds. Now, when I review this, when it's over, I will say, okay, how do I sound? And am I too loud? Is it too far away? It's like, you can see it. So it's right here, because I didn't want it to be like right here. You know what I mean? In front of me, because I'll be like, I'll knock it over because I wave my fucking hands all the time.
In my view, I can't see it. It's hiding behind your name.
Oh, well, that's a good thing. Cool.
Yes, it's completely missing.
Perfect. That's perfect. That's how I like it. I like hidden things, Tyler. I like being in the shadows. I like watching from the shadows, my friend. I like collecting data and like infiltration and spying. I love that shit.
So you work for
the more knowledge you gather and the more information you gather, the more that I see, the more armed you are, the more prepared you are for anything. You know what I'm saying?
I'm more of a ignorance is strength kind of guy.
You're just smiling. What's up, everybody? What y'all doing? Kind of, that's how you get your information. You just kind of wander in and smile and say, "Hey, what's going on?"
I'm not a Taoist, but I kind of see what they're going for there.
Yeah, I hear you. So, all right, dude, you and I bounce off subjects so fucking much. It's ridiculous, man. We should probably not stream together. I love it, but it's like, dude, you know, we need people to wrangle our asses in. So, anyways, okay. So where are we?
Messenger shows up.
Messenger shows up, as you can see. Okay, now here we go. Dialogue. Okay, salve. That's Latin. Okay, now actually. Tyler, since you're a novelist, I had no one at the time to ask this. Because there is Latin, right, in this books, because the angels will often use Latin words, okay? Should I do the footnote thing? Like on this page, should I have left room somewhere and have a little asterisk and says, you know, salve is Latin for, Latin for hello? Or should I just say fuck it? What do you think?
I would say if you're going to do that, maybe not put it on the page itself.
Hmm.
Just put it like at the beginning, like at the beginning of the book.
Really?
This kind of thing.
Let's
Just
see.
kind
Hold
of
on, let me
put
get
like
you.
a.
Wait, hold
like
that up again. Hold that up again. I missed. I was on the other screen. Oh, like in the intro page kind of thing.
Yeah, like have like a page that's kind of like a key, and it's
Really?
saying like these, like it'll show like 4 or 5 words in Latin or whatever that might appear in the book. And then it'll be like the translation of like, this means hello, this means whatever.
I thought of that.
And so
thought of that.
When a person's first reading it, they would see it and they'll be like, the hell is this? Why do I need to know that?
Right.
And then they would start into the book. And then when they come across it, they would be like, oh, wait a minute, flip. What was that again? And then
but that's why, okay, so stop right there. That's what I don't want to do because it interrupts the flow. See what I'm saying? In fact, I've already begun the Aecentric translation in volume 2, and I will show you that real quick, hopefully without spoiling anything, because it's a scene in volume 2 that I am not posting yet because it's one of those scenes that's got some.
Well, make it so that I can't see what you're doing.
I don't think you can see. Hold on. I think when see, right now I have my file screen open on my computer.
I'm still
and
looking
it's not
at the page in the book.
It's not sharing it. I think that's like this, default computer thing where it does not show your actual files. And I mean, that's really cool because that's kind of a security thing. So let me find this page here. Hang on, man. Give me a second. Volume 2. I just did the asterisk thing for a part in the book because now not only is there Latin, but there's ancient Arabic, right? And I'm like, okay, now we're dealing with 2 languages. We're dealing with Latin and ancient Arabic words. It's not actual dialogue. It's like a word. So hang on here. Let me see. I don't want to ruin anything for you. Hang on here. Okay. Close your eyes real quick. Okay. So as you can see here, I don't know if can you see this? Let me see if you can see this. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Okay. I have at the top of the page, this is blown. This is like ridiculously big. This is what is this, like 400% or 500%. In very fine print, the little asterisk, and here it says Iyahara translates to whore in ancient Arabic. Okay, because on this page, that word is being screamed. So instead of doing what you suggest, which is saying, "Oh, what is this?" and go to the back of it, I'm just putting literally footnotes at the top or bottom. Is that like bad? Like, is that
that's not bad? That's not bad at all.
Because I've done it.
I've seen in comic books. What was the last one I saw it in? I can't remember what it was, which comic it was to go get. But anyway, I was reading one of them. Oh, I know which one. Anyway, I'm not going to go get it. Anyway, so I was reading a part, and it was like, I don't know, just for a random example, like, yeah, remember when that building blew up or something? Like maybe it says that in dialogue. And then it would be like, I can't remember, there was like a little star and it had some little thing. And it was like,
asterisk.
Yeah. And it was like, see, volume 1 for more info. And it was basically saying like it was just speaking in terms of continuing the story.
Okay.
And it was like basically saying, hey, if you don't know what I'm saying, go back to volume 1 and this little thing will be explained. It was something like that. And that's cool. Kind of that's sort of a lean on what Stan Lee famously said, which is every comic is somebody's first comic. True.
And that's why, again, I try to remember this. I really do. I'm trying to look at it like someone who is completely clueless as to this whole fucking thing. And they're seeing it for the first time, which is another reason why I've decided to do the fine print asterisk explanation when it comes to, well, at least the ancient Arabic now. So I'm just wondering, basically, I'm just getting your opinion. Do you think I should do that for the Latin or not?
Yeah, that's fine. What
Okay.
you've got going on, that works.
Okay, cool. I'll probably do that. But so far in volume 2, there's no Latin yet. It's just this ancient Arabic. So basically what I'll do is anytime there's a foreign language I use for a word, or it's usually either a greeting or a curse word. That's all it is. You know what I mean? It's not like there's going to be actual sentences and paragraphs in Latin or anything. It's like one word. It's almost like, okay, imagine let's pick a culture here. Let's just say, I don't know, Brazilians. Let's say there was a Brazilian woman who is fluent in English and she speaks English, but then suddenly she gets pissed off and she kind of says, like, you know, fuck you, homie, in her native language, and then continues in English. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of how I see it as in, like, that'll happen sometimes. It'll be like, you know, kind of tell you, would you listen? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like this default, like this reflex where they reflexively curse at you in their native tongue, and then they kind of
remember to go back to the language you understand.
Yes, and that is what I'm trying to do here. When the angels, if they use a word for greeting or whatever, it's like that. It's kind of like that. They're kind of just defaulting to Latin because that's what they actually speak. And the ancient Arabic now, that is, you know, spoiler alert, it's demonic. The demons know ancient Arabic, and I don't really need to explain that because anyone who knows anything about the Middle Eastern region, if you studied anything about ancient civilization, it is filled with all sorts of fucked up shit, man, especially in history. Demons and jinn and this and that. And so I'm looking at, like, okay, if the angel's native tongue is Latin, right? Demons' native tongue would be ancient Arabic, because chances are that's where they first surfaced.
When you say ancient Arabic,
right.
I mean, is this like the standard Arabic spoken today, or is it something before Arabic?
Whatever the hell translates in in the online dictionary, the English to Latin translation is what I use, and the Arabic to English translation, that Arabic. I put ancient.
That's probably standard Arabic.
It's standard Arabic. I literally put the word ancient in front of it so that it sounds ancient. So that when the demon says "rah" and it means whore, and you see the little asterisk and it says, you know, ancient Arabic, it gives the reader the sense that this is some ancient language from tens of thousands or whatever, hundreds of thousands of years ago that the demons are using. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, just if you're curious,
yeah.
Like back in the day, like when Jesus was walking 2,000 years ago,
mm-hmm.
he was speaking what's called Aramaic.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Now, Aramaic doesn't really exist anymore.
Right.
People speak Aramaic,
mm-hmm.
but Aramaic actually kind of split into two languages, which exist today. So from Aramaic came Arabic
mm-hmm.
and Hebrew.
The Hebrew, right.
So Hebrew is carried on by the Jewish communities, and
right.
then Arabic by the Muslims. But Aramaic was the original one.
That's cool. Here's an interesting little bit of Star Wars nugget of info when it comes to Hebrew. Darth Vader's center control panel on his chest, the one with the buttons and shit on it.
Yeah,
like a stomach. Above the 3 long white switches on that is Hebrew text, Hebrew writing, literally. My brother and I saw, it was like a Star Wars, it's like a museum on tour, like one of these Star Wars museums in a city. And so you can go and look at the original costumes, the original this, and they had the Darth Vader costume behind glass, right? And right there on the panel was Hebrew text written above the switches. And it was this ancient Hebrew text that was on Darth Vader's thing. I was like, that is cool. Because, I mean, the movie, you can't even see this. How often is it? You know what I'm saying? But it existed. On the actual costume, they had Hebrew text above the 3 switches. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So there's a little Star Wars Hebrew info nugget.
You know, on the Monster Energy drink, there's some Hebrew too.
I don't drink that shit, so I wouldn't know about that. But I take your word for it. What is it?
Well,
What's it translate to?
It's not an everyone thinks the logo for the Monster Energy drink is this like really crazy looking M.
Yeah.
But it's not an M.
Really?
It's actually 3 different symbols. Or 3 of the same symbols.
Wow.
It's a Hebrew number.
For what?
And on the back it says Unleash the Beast.
No way. 666? Are you shitting me?
It's the Hebrew number of 6. And it's
dude
666. And their logo or their slogan is Unleash the Beast.
Wow. See, it's a good thing I don't drink it. I don't need any more of that shit.
And it's like,
that's funny.
Why did they say Beast? Like, they're called Monster. Why didn't they say Unleash the Monster?
Why is Mr. Beast the largest channel on YouTube called Mr. Beast? I have the best rant and rave from what's his face? Oh God, no, dude, what's his name? Tate. Andrew. You know who Andrew Tate is?
Yeah.
Even
if you don't like him, everybody knows him.
I don't even like him, but I love his rants because it's dead on, 100% dead on. I have bookmarked. It was probably a month or 2 ago. It was when the whole ordeal with Mr. Beast YouTube. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know. I've never watched a Mr. Beast video, but I've generally heard that he exists and he helps Africans.
He's just weird, dude. And so, anyways, Andrew Tate, while he's driving his $1 million sports car, has his brother filming him. And Andrew Tate goes off on like this at least 10-minute rant. And I'm like laughing my ass off as I'm watching. I love rants. I will have to retweet it and I'll at you. I'll be like, Tyler, check this out. Don't piss yourself laughing. If you like rants from people, this is one of the fucking best. Because you got me, this is Andrew Tate. This is this over the top, macho, fucking alpha male bullshit. Everyone's hates it. And he's tons of money and all this stuff, but yet he is sitting there driving and he's talking and waving his hands and all this crap and using like different voices and shit. It reminds me of like a geek, like someone like me. Like if I went off on a rant and rave, I'm like, see, even Andrew Tate gets it. Like I swear, I am the opposite of like Andrew Tate in every aspect, probably. You know what I'm saying? But yet, we could probably click if we were both ranting and raving about the same subject. And he's ranting and raving about Mr. Beast on YouTube. It's the best rant, dude. And the way he
have to send it to me.
I will tonight. If I forget when the stream's over,
just sometime,
shoot me a DM. No, because I will forget and you'll never see it. You have to do like DM. If I don't do it within a half hour after I end the stream, DM me and say, hey, send me that video, and I'll send you. It's a Andrew Tate rant. I love it. It starts off about Mr. Beast in YouTube, and of course it goes into all the shit. And you know what I'm saying? And it just comes full circle, and he just starts asking questions. You'll love it. So back to this. Let's come back again. You see how often we do this, Tyler?
Did anyone pop in the chat? Any questions, anything before we...
But there's 2 people here now. I don't know who these people are. Hey, sound off. Whoever the hell it is. I don't know who they are. It's cool. It's like, you can see who's watching a number, but unless they type, you don't know who. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. Whatever. Welcome.
Right, we're on the last page of chapter 2.
Yes, last page of chapter 2. Okay. So I don't know. Where are we? Okay. So good to see you. They greet. Okay, we are now 13 in number. Okay, so there's 13 angels that are arriving on Earth. Okay.
Lucky 13.
Numerology is another thing that's rampant in this story. I studied numerology for this book 11 years ago. And I've got all the numbers and configurations that are important in biblical and all this stuff. 13 is an important number. So there's 13 angels. You've met 3 in volume 1. Okay. They're just simple discussion here, as you can see. So the others are not far, the other 10, right? And he says that the other 10 angels are separated, moving ahead in smaller groups to begin our work. Okay. And then he says something kind of important here. He says, Salanthia, we found something to the south, an anomaly. It is one of the signs. Ooh, okay. So what does that mean? You know,
we'll find out in the future chapter.
You'll find out. And so let me bring up the next. Okay. Tyler, we're already at an hour, my friend. So I'm going to probably go another 20 minutes or so and then wrap it up. So again, I don't think we're going to get too far, which is fine with me. Because this is almost just like a hangout stream. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have any specific agenda. We have to get here. We have to get to this point. We have to get, I don't give a fuck, man. Just do whatever. Where are we? Hang on a second. All right. So we wrapped up that chapter. Okay, here we go. Here's the next one. All right. Okay, so let's see. Can you see that? Yep, you can. Okay. Again, just another chapter, page title. Okay, now, there is a process to everything I do, Tyler. Okay, and everything's color-coded. So the first question, actually, okay, I'll explain first. So in volume 1, there's the prologue, right?
Yeah.
The chapter 1 was read because it's focusing on demons, the mistress, the assassination, right?
Yeah.
Chapter 2 is blue because it's focusing on the angels arriving, the first 3 angels to arrive. Okay. Now, chapter 3 is purple, and it focuses on one of the humans, people, in this story. Why did I choose purple? Why did I choose the color purple? And it's not because of the movie.
No idea.
Really? Take a guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you know what?
I guess it would be because chapter 1's red being villainous and chapter 2 being blue being all heavenly, so purple would be the balance, to be in the middle.
It's an artist thing. If you mix red and blue, it makes purple.
Yeah.
So literally, symbolically,
it's the balance between the two. It's the mid ground.
And that's what we are. People, humans. We have the demon. We had a little devil sitting on our shoulder, and we had a little angel sitting on our shoulder. And we're constantly torn in between the two. Every single human that was ever born and died on this goddamn place is caught in between the light and the dark, the good and evil, blah, blah, blah. So if you mix red and blue, it makes purple. I see that as us. We are literally a mixture of demons and angels, right?
Yeah.
It's like, so I shouldn't have expected you to know that because it's like an actual art thing, painting, colors and bullshit. But good job. You got it.
Well, I'm a painter. I know all that.
You're a smart guy. You're an artist too. You're a writer, artist. All right.
In art
so
class,
now
they only gave us red, blue, and yellow.
Yeah.
They said we're doing painting, and they gave us red, blue, and yellow. And I was like, where's all the other colors? And they were like, you're going to have to mix and match.
Mix and match. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Figure it out.
Exactly.
Figure out what makes green, what makes yellow, or orange, what makes purple, what makes whatever you want. Oh, there's some black and white over there. If you want some pinks and baby blues and lime greens, go for that too.
Exactly. So. All right. So this is the beginning of chapter 3. Okay. So as you can see, there's 2 moons in the sky. Now, this is very important. I am obsessed with 2 moons in the sky because of Star Wars, because Tatooine had 2 suns, and I thought that was the coolest fucking thing I'd ever seen on film, is a sunset with 2 suns, right? One was like orange and one's like white. And I'm like, okay, yeah, well, I'm gonna do 2 moons, you know. So in this time on Earth, there was actually 2 moons, and I'm like, I am going to eventually have to explain this, because if in present day Earth there's 1 moon, although Tyler, for 2 months we get 2 moons, you saw that, right?
Yeah.
Asteroid, okay, whatever. And but the point is, in this time on Earth, which is basically an age before the supposed ice age that destroyed everything and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, there was 2 moons in the sky. Somewhere between this ancient age and now, one of those moons disappeared. I don't know why. I'll figure it out. But for now, there's 2 moons in the sky. So desert, you can clearly see. Okay, now here's your Western influence, Tyler. This is, I'm chomping at the bit because I love Westerns and cowboys and deserts and all this shit. So I'm like, oh, here's my chance to insert some Western style. So as you can see, here's your, ram skull and the desert and the rocks and all that cool shit. Like kind of the prickly, dry bushes and stuff.
It's Arizona.
And so, yeah, very Arizona, because I lived in Arizona for a year. And so, again, it was a great excuse to just draw desert rocks, because even though most people think it's boring, I love drawing rocks. They're so fun. There's so much shit to them. You can go crazy with them. So in this page, it's just introducing you to, okay, wow, there's 2 moons in the sky. Hey, here's a fucking desert. Oh, what's this in the desert? There's something here. And as you can see, it looks like almost looks like a ghost. It's a ghostly animal. What is this? It's glowing white, Well, it's not. It's a wolf. Now, I could do wolves better now, because this looks like a husky, for Christ's sakes. But at the time, this was about as best as I could draw a wolf. So it's a white wolf that appears in the desert. And then this guy appears with the white wolf. And to demonstrate his, I wanted the reader to realize his scholarly, sophisticated, aristocratic personality. The best word I could think of him to say is fuck. Yeah. What do you think? That's got aristocrat, civilized authority all over it. Fuck is the first thing this guy says. My favorite word in the entire English language is fuck. So I'm not kidding. I love that word. There's so many ways you can use that word. So this guy, as you can see, is scarred up, weathered, wearing all sorts of weird shit, weird sword, black armor, all this stuff. Okay. So this is one of the first human characters introduced in the story. And there's actually two different human storylines. So you have your demon storyline, your angel storyline, and then you have your human storyline, okay? At this time, there's 2 separate human storylines. There's this guy, his storyline, and then, as you know, the priest and the bodyguard, their storyline. What will happen, which, it will happen, and I'm the readers are probably like, oh, good, because I don't want to deal with all these different storylines. Those 2 storylines are going to come together like soon. So this guy and the priest and the bodyguard somehow eventually will meet or come together or whatever. And then now you just have the one storyline. See what I'm saying?
Establish them and then have them actually come together, and you understand who it is that's meeting each other.
Exactly right. Because that was the one thing that you could do. It's like, I remember I mentioned this to somebody and they were like, oh, Jesus, that would have been horrible. I said, I know. Because I was like, okay, we got 13 angels. Do I drop them all in at once and smother the reader? Hey, here's 13 angels, and draw a big picture of 13 different fucking. I didn't want to do that. I'm like, no, I want to spoon feed them each angel individually, because they're that important. Each angel character is so important. They deserve their own splash page when they're introduced, one at a time. See what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, if I'm easing into angel characters, then I'm doing the same with the humans. Instead of saying, hey, here's this group of humans, this weird ragtag group of 5, 6, 7 people, that all just happened to be together. No, I'm like, okay, this guy's got his fucked up life that he's doing. These two have their situations they're dealing with. And eventually things will bring them together. So what do you think about that, Tyler? Does that make sense or not?
Yeah, that's the way you should do it.
Is that kind of more realistic? I saw it more realistic.
If you just dumped a whole bunch of characters on people at once, nobody would care.
Right. Okay. Hold on one second. Crap. You know what? We are already. What's that? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you ever see the movie Avengers Endgame?
I did not.
Well, there's this scene at the very end. It's like the big climax of spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like this big climax towards the end of the movie where these portals open, tons and tons of portals, and there's just this massive army that comes marching through. But the army is like all of these heroes that have died and they're brought back to life, and it's just tons of them.
Yeah.
Well, that's significant because we, the fans, the audience, we're well aware of all those characters.
Okay.
If in like the first Avengers, there was just portals open and like 45 characters show up and we have no backstory for who they are.
Yeah.
That wouldn't mean anything.
Right.
It took like 15 years of cinema to build up all of those different characters, so that when they all showed up together, it was worth a damn.
Makes sense. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Unfortunately, this is the beginning. You know, it's like I don't have 15 years of books that everyone's read. This is ground zero. This is the start. So, someone mentioned there's no battles in the first book. You know, you got 80 pages, volume 1, and there's no sword fights. There's no battles. I said no. I said I'm introducing. I got to introduce the old Earth, because this is Earth. I clearly say this isn't some fictitious planet. This is fucking Earth, what we're living on right now. It's really old. It's so old it basically predates any history we have of modern Earth, right? I literally saw it as like, assuming the whole Ice Age dinosaur shit is real, and I don't know what the hell to believe, Tyler, to tell you the truth when it comes to history anymore. Let's just assume that this planet had dinosaurs roaming it, and then the comet or the Ice Age killed them all, and then eventually, it came to be where there's cavemen and humans and all this bullshit, and then they built society, and here we are, okay? This age takes place before the giant comet and Ice Age. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
basically, I see this age in this story as this advanced, weird, Earth was advanced and stuff. It was just a different type of advancement.
It's sort of like pre-flood.
Yeah, okay. And I keep thinking of Atlantis, the city of Atlantis, because I've kind of researched Atlantis over the years. And they say Atlantis was, highly advanced for its time. And they talk about it's powered by crystals and magic and all this. That's exactly how I see this. I literally see it as, in this age of the story, technology, science, all that shit, and magic are at the starting point, right? The actual magic, fire from the hands, calling lightning, whatever. Okay. And this is assuming magic is real or was real in reality on Earth, because some people swear, yes, magic's real, and it was. Other people are like, fucking, are you insane? Magic doesn't exist. Okay. So let's just assume magic existed at one time. Okay. So in this age, magic and technology are at the starting point together. Okay. And they're off. Bam. And so they start advancing magic or technology and magic. Okay. In this age, technology started to slow, as in people kind of started to not develop technology as much, and they started to focus on magic and develop magic. So magic started to the development advancement of magic started to go further ahead than technology. Okay. Where in modern day Earth, let's just pretend magic is real. If magic was real way back then when they created the fucking stone wheel and the fire and all this stuff. Same thing. Magic and technology are just starting. In our time, it was like technology went woo. Like, you know what I mean? Like magic did a little bit. Okay, so there's witches doing spells in the fucking woods in the 1200s or whatever. Technology just took off and kept going. And so now today, we don't even know if magic actually exists because technology has gone so far. We are like, magic doesn't exist. There's no proof of it. And only certain people or groups say, yes, it's real. We cast spells every day. Okay. Does this make sense? So in this story, there is a technology. It's just, it never reached the point of like the single combustion engine or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It is still in that medieval technology era, maybe a little bit of old Western kind of technology, but that's about it. But magic has advanced further. So things that normally technology would cover, so to speak, as in fill the gap, magic is doing it, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So I don't have to explain that anymore. Okay, so this is the last page we're going to cover for tonight because it's been an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay.
And we can do a few minutes of bullshit at the end, you and I, because there's no one watching. So cool. We can just fuck off for a few minutes. So, all right. So as you can see, so here he is on the desert on a horse with no name, like the song says, with his white wolf and more skeleton spines and shit. And he just says, his wolf's name is Thorn. So, it's a male wolf, male's Thorn, long ride home. And a pretty sunset, and him and now, due to time constraints, if you notice, I use the same pictures. It's like, okay, I can speed this up a lot faster if I don't redraw down here. So this is a cheat, and it's a lame cheat because you really shouldn't do that. But I'm like, well, fuck it. I need to get this done, so I'm doing it. So this is kind of a very gay-looking situation here, isn't it, Tyler? You got a lot of pinks and purples and moons and all sorts of stuff. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying he's gay, and I'm not saying I'm appealing to the gay interest.
That's just what sunsets look like, man.
I just love
I'm gay about that.
Dude, I love sunsets. I have hundreds of pictures of sunsets, and I study them, and then these are actual colors of sunsets. Anyone who's seen a lot of sunsets can say, yeah, I've seen sunsets that look like this. That's just how it is, man. I'm not trying to imply anything. I'm just saying I appreciate color, pastel colors, pinks, purples, and all this shit because it's in the sky at sunsets and stuff. And there you go.
And that's that purple, blue, kind of pink. Like that's not even gay. Like that's more of the trans color. So you're good.
Hey, there you go. Even better. Yay. There you go. I'll interest the trans community. Okay, so that is it for this stuff, Tyler. Time sure flies when we get together, buddy. It's been an hour and 20 minutes, and here we are. So, anything you want to bring up? Anything? Oh, how about, dude, what's going on with your stuff, man? I know it's like you said next year, but is there any chance it's going to be sooner, or do we got to wait till next year? For your 10 books.
Well, I mean, for me, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 more books I'm reading through, just doing a final edit through.
Oh, cool.
And then once I do that, once I do a final edit through, I mean, I could try to reach out to an actual like editor. That would be the responsible thing to do.
Okay.
But I probably won't.
Fuck responsibility. That's what I say. It's more fun when you're not responsible, Tyler. Come on.
Well, like if I went that route, I'd have to find someone willing to edit 10 books.
Yeah. And again, real quickly, do you have the page count memorized for every book?
No.
Okay. What's the first book page count roughly? 300 something or?
Yeah. The first one's the longest. It's
okay.
It's like 300 and 70 pages or something.
Dude, I think everyone does that because like my first one's 80, but like my current one's 48. I think something about the first book, everyone like just like rah, you know what I mean? Here's everything, and that's cool. So this first book, and again, we talked about this before. Aren't you going directly to Amazon?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't need to crowdfund anything with these 10 books at all.
No. If I was going to crowdfund anything,
Mm-hmm.
it would be for the artwork, and that's already done.
Yeah, I was going to say. So you're kind of done. You don't have to worry about. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So you're at the point where you can literally put you'll put this on Amazon, and there you go.
Yeah,
buy it.
Yeah, I was going to. So, like for the books have different sizes.
Okay. Like as in physical dimensions?
No. The physical dimensions are all 6-inch by 9-inch.
6 by 9. Okay.
But like the thickness.
Okay.
They're
Because the page count.
Yeah, the page count.
Yeah.
And so with that, talk a little bit about numbers here.
Mm-hmm.
So if I put up a single price for all 10 books,
right,
it's difficult to come up with one price that fits all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would have to like ultimately, if I tried to find a mid price, the more expensive or the bigger books would be underpriced and the thinner books would be overpriced.
Gotcha.
So there's slight variations in the price.
Okay.
So it's not like a DVD set where you're like, the first movie was $20, and guess what? The second one was $20.
Gotcha.
Same thing. With the books, there's 3 different prices that I'm going with, which is $10, $8, and $5.55.
Okay.
So depending on how thick the book is, there'll be different prices for them.
Gotcha.
Now, this is because on Amazon, there's price things you have to consider when you're making a book on Amazon. So there's a manufacturing cost.
Okay.
And that depends on a lot of different things. How thick the book is an important thing. So if your book is only 30,000 words,
right,
then it's really thin.
Gotcha.
But if your book is like 300,000 words and it's like a Lord of the Rings thing,
right,
or Game of Thrones kind of thing, then it's a whole lot of paper, a whole lot of ink.
Right.
If you add in pictures, that increases the price.
Yeah.
There's also 2 different types of papers. There's what's called cream, and then there's white.
Right.
So cream is like a standard kind of yellow.
Okay. Yeah.
Whereas white is like,
crisp white. Bright white. Yeah.
And
that's what I use. Yeah.
And so that's important because when you're using the cream page, if you have any images, those images are going to be black and gray.
Gotcha.
Which is what I use. I use black and gray images. Now, on a computer screen, my images are black and gray. That's what they're supposed to be. Right. So it works perfectly fine. When you put it on the cream colored paper, it actually makes the images it's
black
sort of
and cream.
Well, it brings down the clarity of the image a little bit.
Gotcha.
In terms of like, if we're doing like YouTube videos, like instead of like the 1080, it drops it down to like almost like so it brings it down a little bit. It makes it a little grainy, right? Because it's printed on like that, but that makes it actually more clear in a way. What I mean is, if you're familiar with painting, right? When you're painting a picture, you're creating the illusion. Right. You're just mixing, matching colors and shapes so that when you look from a distance, you can see this grand image. But when you look really close, you just see all the little brush strokes. Yeah. So what I'm saying is when you print on this cream paper, it makes it more it brings it more to life, so to speak.
Okay.
You see less of the manufactured drawing and more of a solid image. I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
But if I did the white paper,
Mm-hmm.
then it would be like digital printing, like on a
Gotcha.
screen.
Right.
So it would be more clear and
It'd be
also
sharper.
Yeah, it'd be much sharper.
Mm-hmm.
But also with the white paper, you can do an option of color images.
Mm.
So if I had full colored images, I
Right.
could do that, and then my book would be full of full color.
Have
But
you
of course-
decided which you're going to do?
Yeah, I'm just doing the cream with the black and gray
Gotcha.
images.
And is that more affordable? Like I would imagine that white probably.
That's what I'm
costs
building up to is the
Yeah.
fact that if you do the color, then that pretty much doubles the cost of printing.
Yeah.
So for me, for my thickest book,
Mhm.
my price that I'll be charging people will be $10.
Okay.
The cost to print that book is $4.91. So it costs
Okay.
$4.91
To print one book,
just to
You
print the
sell-
one book. So
you sell it for 10.
my price has to be at least $4.91.
Right.
You know what I'm
right.
saying, to cover
Oh,
the
yeah.
cost of printing.
Right.
And in contrast, my thinnest book, which will be I'll only charge $5.55 for,
Mm-hmm.
it only costs $2.30 to print it.
Nice. That's
So
cool.
$4.91, $2.30.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
so like you can see there's difference in cost just to print. Now
Mhm.
with Amazon, they've got two different royalty options you can pick.
Okay.
One is where you get the author, you get 60%,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other option is you only get 40%.
Mm.
Now the discrepancy there is because if you have two options. One is you sell only through Amazon.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
if you sell only through Amazon, then you get the 60%.
Uh-huh.
The other option is extended distribution. Extended
Okay.
distribution. So if you choose that, then that means that if you walk into a Barnes and Noble or something,
Mhm.
some bookstore, and
Mhm.
you're like, "Hey, man, you got the new OniVids book?" And they'll be like, "Nah, but we can order it."
Mm.
And then they can order it and they can get it on the shelves for you.
Cool.
So if you do that, then the royalty is only 40%. But even though you're taking in less of a percentage,
Mhm.
in theory, if your books are in all these different stores, it should make up for it.
Gotcha. Okay. That's cool. So,
But for me, I'm just doing the 60% because realistically, I'm an unknown author and
Right.
people aren't
First
going to be poured into Barnes and Nobles like, "Hey, man, you got the
Exactly.
new book from Tyler Gworek?" You know,
right.
whatever.
I hear you.
And so
When,
the way
let's go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so it's the way it's set up. I personally dislike it with Amazon because the way I thought originally, I was like, all right, the cost of printing is $4.91. So that's $10
Mm-hmm.
minus $4.91. And then whatever is left over,
Mm-hmm.
I get 60%. Amazon gets 40%.
Right.
That's what I assumed. And in my opinion, logically, that makes the best sense. But that's not what they do. What they do is I set a price, whatever I want,
Mhm.
which I'm set for $10.
Okay.
They then, first and foremost, take the 40%. So they take $4. So they take $4 up front, the 40%.
Gotcha.
I'm then left with 60%. And from my 60%, they take the fucking print cost.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So what happens is, or will happen,
Mm-hmm.
when I release these books, if you buy book number 1, it will
Mhm.
cost you $10.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon is going to collect $4.
Mm.
And then I'm going to collect $1.09.
Yeah, that doesn't work, brother. That doesn't work.
Because they'll take the $4, and so of the remaining $6, it's $4.91 just to print.
Yeah.
But the way I've set it up, there's some variations in the like leftover cents.
Right.
But ultimately, every book 1 through 10, even though the prices will be varied,
right,
I'll get $1. So for every a little bit more, like $1.09, $1.03, $1.20, something like that.
$1 and change.
Yeah. And so every one book I sell, I'll get at least $1. So if 10 people buy all 10 books, you get $100.
That's cool.
If whatever, if I get 100,000 people and they're like, you know what, I'm buying all 10 books. Cool,
right.
I'll make $1 million.
So when you release these on Amazon, are you releasing all 10 at once? Or are you doing like the first one and then later the second one?
Well, I plan on doing one at a time.
I was hoping so, because I was like, man, you have 10 finished books, right?
Yeah.
You should you should release the first book. It's the biggest, right? One, it's going to give you an idea of the interest. And if it's not getting much interest, now you're going to have to step your ass up and start promoting like we fucking do, which is a nightmare because when you're a nobody, no one fucking promotes you. You know what I mean? So it's like, you will have to be like, okay, shit, I need more eyes on this. And that's why I will help you. Unfortunately, I don't have a huge platform. Maybe I keep going this way with any fucking luck, I'll have a little bigger platform next year. But I obviously am going to promote you and buy the first book. I'm sure others will too, but if you release the first book, it's the biggest. So it is a good test to see how it goes. And you will learn. I'm sure unforeseen errors will come up, and you know what I mean. And then the cool thing is, from a reader point of view, man. So someone gets your first book, and they read it in a week or two or a month or whatever. That's fucking cool. Does he have a second one? Ooh, next month. Now you promote, advertise. Hey, the second one's coming, dude. You keep doing that for a fucking year, and your readers will they'll never be bored. You see what I'm saying? You will have one after another, after another, after another. So anyone who's into your books, they won't have to wait long for a whole new sequel book. Where like what I'm doing, these fuckers are waiting 2, 3. Some people are waiting 3, 4, 5 years for creators to make the next book, as we know. You know what I mean? And that it sucks, but this is how it is. It's like I don't have 10 books finished. I've got one, and now I'm working on the second. You have 10 finished, so you can take your time and release one at a time. So I was hoping you were going to do that and not just all 10 at once. You know what I mean? So that's cool. Good for you.
I haven't decided on which I'm going to go with, but it'll probably be every 1 month or every 2 months,
right?
One or the other.
Your call, but I would say every 2 months. You could probably even do 3, but you could do, I would say not 1 a month. That's almost too fast because, again, I don't know how Amazon works when it comes to a creator point. I've never tried it. You know what I mean? Yeah. If I don't know how they promote, if they promote, who promotes, but as
you can buy promotional packages and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So, but as you can see from the crowdfunding perspective, and just me, like, I don't know how many other creators or other shows you're on and stuff, but from an indie creator point of view, you can see how hard it is to get your stuff out there and get the backers and all this stuff. It's easier, the bigger the platform you have or audience you have or whatever, that obviously the better. When you're starting off like me, yeah, it sucks. But believe me, there's a lot of creators who are starting off. All you have to do is look at the crowdfunding, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, FundMyComic, and you'll see there are campaigns who are just, they're barely alive, and I'm like, wow, I'm grateful I'm better off than them, even though all these other people are better off than me. But shit, at least I'm doing better than these guys. You know what I mean? So that's where the first book could that's your test, man. It's your test subject.
With like movies, you should know this. With movies, if you spend $300,000 or $300 million on production, then you should spend at least $300 million on marketing,
advertising. Yeah.
And so I fully intend to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on advertising.
Yeah.
That's why I'm gonna make that trailer. I'm gonna make that video.
Right. Yeah. You talk about that.
I'll probably after I make it, I'll probably try to get turn that into an ad thing on YouTube.
Right.
So when people are clicking on videos, my thing will pop up. Maybe they'll skip through it. Maybe they'll play it, whatever. And then I'll also try to do some stuff on X and promote there too.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm hoping I can kind of do with the YouTube is I like listening to music on YouTube.
Right.
So there's I've mentioned it before, a certain style of music called lo-fi. This is really relaxing kind of music. And I've come across many times where I click on a video to listen to lo-fi, and there will be an ad that will pop up that will be lo-fi.
Gotcha.
And so what it is it's an unknown lo-fi creator. They've created music and they've paid to make their song an ad, and then they've put it in the lo-fi sphere of YouTube. And so what happens is I click on the big guy to listen to their music, and then there's an ad for some unknown.
Right.
And I'm there to listen to music. I'm not picky, so I'll just let it fucking play. I will play all the way through that ad.
Yeah.
No joke. One time, and this is funny, I got hit with a 4-hour-long ad.
Damn, dude.
Someone had a 4-hour-long video, and they were like, we're going to make that an ad.
Wow.
And they paid for an ad slot, and I clicked the video, whatever it was. It wasn't even music. It was some fucking movie review or some random thing. And I got hit with a 4-hour lo-fi thing. And I was like, fuck it, I'm writing.
That's cool. Yeah.
So I just went over and I just started writing. And I listened to an hour, and I paused it and maybe went off and did whatever. And when I came back, I just opened my thing and I went through that whole video. And I was really hoping, because that was a one of two ads, I was like, I really hope the next one's another one. And it was just some 20-second insurance thing. I was like, man. Right. At that point, I'd forgotten what even the original video was. But the point is, I'll do that because my trailer audibly will just be lo-fi music. It'll be lo-fi music, but it'll have action. Well, not action, but me walking around in samurai armor, all this stuff, and there'll be words on screen talking about the books and all that. And so hopefully people will hear it, listen, and then when they check the screen, they'll be like, yo, this is cool, whatever.
If you, Danny's here now. If you, she said,
should pop in before we finish.
Yeah, well, again, it's because we've gone over. Danny got lucky because it's been an hour and 40 minutes, and I said we're going to shoot for an hour and a half tops, and of course here we fucking are. It's over there. So yeah, Danny almost did miss us. Danny almost missed the stream, and unfortunately we're not going to go on much further. But she said, anyways, she said if you need voice act, because she voice actress my trailer. She's voice acting the angel Tursa. And it's to the point now where I am identifying that character with Danny now, her voice is, and then it's showing 2 lines. But I'm like I said, she's working on this. She's been working on this video, and I'm dying to see it. And it's basically her as Tursa, and it'll be cool because there'll be a lot more dialogue. She's speaking a lot more. Anyway, if you need a voice actress, Danny said she'd be happy to help. I don't have the best fucking voice, but I can kind of imitate different voices, you know what I mean? And lower it. If you need voice actors, there are a few of us here who can help. I don't even know if you need them because the trailers. That's fine. Just know if you do another trailer or for some whatever the fuck you need, that you have some people here basically who will help you for free or really, really, really cheap. You know what I'm saying? when it comes to me, like I said, I can promote you on X, no problem, every fucking day. If you need, I also mentioned again your artworks. See, you're already done. Your books are done. Your artwork's done. But if you would ever need like a variant cover or some fucking one-shot picture, you've seen my black and whites. I can do the fucking black and white shit. So just talk to me about that, and I could give you an illustration for an interior or a fucking variant or whatever. Basically, you got some people here to kind of help you. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like you don't need any help because you're done with everything, 10 books and all this stuff.
And I've got the cover artwork done too. I just haven't put it on the books yet.
And that, like I said, this is like for the future. Like I know basically you don't need anything, but if the time comes during all these sales where something comes up where you do need something, well, at least you know a few people now who can help you. And like I said, at the very least, I can promote you on X, try to get you out there. You know,
one thing I've been thinking about as a way to promote is, you know, I could always like pay a significant YouTuber just like a sponsorship.
I thought of that too.
This by the way, and that brings us to today's video sponsor.
Right. Yeah.
Like, this thing's brought to you by, you know, shit like
exactly.
That.
That's what I thought of too.
I could do that. But I thought of an even smarter, in my opinion, smarter and cheaper way to do it. I haven't seen anybody do it yet.
Really?
Yeah. So go to a live stream when you're watching people. I've seen this many times. Not what I'm saying,
right?
But I've gone to live streams, and I could put all kinds of shit in the comments, and they won't read it.
Yeah.
They will not read it.
Yeah. But
they always read the super chats.
Super chats.
As soon as you put in like a $5 donation or something, they're like, "Yo, Horseface 345,
right?
Thanks for the $5 shout." And then they'll read the comment and be like, "Your videos are great. Love the hair, whatever it is. Thanks, buddy." So all I gotta do is come in with a super chat, $10, and they'll be like, "Wow, thanks for the $10." And then they'll read my post, which would be like, "Check out the Onivids novel. It's based as fuck."
Yeah. I hate to burst your bubble, but I've already done that myself, and thousands of people have done that in the comic industry. This is why they watch these live streams, and the bigger the stream, the better. And it was actually, I did it one time, and unfortunately it didn't fucking lead to anything. Big surprise. But I was in a afternoon live stream with I would call a medium-sized channel in one of the comic groups that you're well aware of. But they're kind of more the non-dramatic types. But anyways, this afternoon live stream was with a big YouTuber and a medium-sized YouTuber. And the topic of Dungeons and Dragons came up. And I'm like, here's my in. You know what I mean? So I did I think it was like a $20 super chat. And I was like, speaking of Dungeons and Dragons, if you're into Between Demons and Angels Volume 1 on Indiegogo right now, you know what I'm saying? And the streamers are used to this, so they tell their mods get his campaign and put the fucking link in the chat, and like this, the fucking mods, they look at my ex. Okay, where's his Indiegogo? What's the name? Okay, they go to Indiegogo. Bam, bam, bam. The fucking link is in the chat now. Between Demons and Angels, Volume 2 on Indiegogo. They're used to this. Has been going on for a while, like years. So again, the good thing is you thought of this. That's how you fucking do it, dude. This is how a lot of people do it. It's getting your book read live to thousands of people in a chat that's really popular. But they will include your link in the chat. So now anyone who's like, "Oh, this was kind of cool," they click on the link and they go straight to your fucking page. Now, in your case, it's Amazon. So I don't know how that works. If it's different, because for us, it's Kickstarter, Indiegogo, FundMyComic. That's the links. That's it. I don't know if an Amazon link works in live chat or not, because
I don't know.
You'll find out, because for independent comics, we're all crowdfunding. Not everybody, but most of us are crowdfunding. So it's Kickstarter, Indiegogo, FundMyComic. I do see a lot of independent like with Ko-Fi and their own site, like, oh, my book Johnny and Maud is at, johnnyandmaud.com. You know what I mean? So that they'll put that link in there. But the established channels, the medium sized to big ones, they have anywhere from 1 to 5 moderators, and the moderators are the ones that have little wrenches next to it, like the name's blue and there's a little wrench. That's a moderator. Okay, they know how to quickly get your campaign links into that chat so everyone can see them, and that's where the super chat comes. You got to pay for that shit. You can't just say, "Oh, hey, I'm new here. Can you post from it?" No, fuck it. It's gonna be $10, $20, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? So yes, try that. Do the super chat in a live stream, not a lame one like mine, because who the fuck's going to see it? You got to hit the live streams where you got 1,000 people watching, 2,000 people watching. You know what I'm saying?
I'll show up on like Geeks and Gamers and the Quartering, shit like that.
There's dude. You can talk to me about shit because, like I said, for the last,
I go to Eats Man Skyrim, like, yo, if y'all love Rippa, you got to check out my book.
Okay, yeah. Talk to me about. I know all the groups. I know who's big and who's not, and who's all that shit. I've been watching and gathering info for 4 years, and I am not participating in shit because I know all. You know what I mean? So we can talk, and I'll say I would recommend this, this, and this. It doesn't mean you should, but this is what I would recommend. You know what I mean? And there are a few out there, but again, it's money. You got to pay. It's like, super chats will get your stuff read. Paying for advertising, yeah, but there is free promoting and advertising on X in the community. It may not get you far, like me. That's all I do is 3 guys. I'm using on X to promote me. It's whether every other day, every week, whatever the fuck it is, and not a whole lot of people see it, and I have even less backers that do it. But it's something, and it's free. It's you know what I mean? For you probably need to do better than that because you're dealing with 10 books, Amazon, so you're going to need a lot more sales than me. You know what I mean? So you can do the free stuff on X, but you do the super chats as well. You pay for advertising on Amazon or whatever the fuck it is. You get your ass all over the place because you're going to need to sell more books than me because my profit per book is a lot. I haven't sold many books. Well, have many backers, but my profit is ridiculous. Like volume 1's $20. Back the book for $20. The cost of that book is probably $2-3. You know what I'm saying? So I'm making a nice little chunk of profit per book because part of that is shipping. And I don't know what Amazon, what's up with it, if they cover shipping or what. But for us, you cover
they would cover the shipping.
Okay. So for us, we need to cover 2 things. It's the printing and the shipping. And usually the shipping ends up being more per book than the printing, because you can usually get discounts on printing or depending on how many, all this stuff. So for me, printing a book is, let's just say for the hell of $5. It's a $20 book, printing's $5. Okay. Well, now the fucking shipping is going to be at least 10. Now you do charge for that, but you see how your profit starts going down. You know what I mean?
Well, who's doing your printing for comics or for your books? Who's like, what company do you go through that actually prints the books?
That is a secret, my friend. That's something I cannot disclose.
Okay. Well, I mean,
my brother's in charge of that, and my brother is in charge of that, and he has years of experience in printing, and he has scouted several printers over the last 11 years, and he has recently nailed down a new printer. They're out of state. They're in your state. They're in Virginia.
The only reason I was bringing it up is because with the novels and what's one of the big benefits of going through Amazon is there's no inventory.
Right.
I will have no inventory. It's manufactured per purchase. So the way that works is like, see, back in the day, there were these things called, what were they called? I always forget.
That's all right. Happens to me all the time. You're getting old.
I can't remember what they're called, but anyway, whatever they're called, vanity press. Vanity press.
Right.
Okay. So what these vanity presses are, they were kind of like scammers, so to speak. So they would find new authors who are looking to get published, and they're like, "Man, it'd be so great if I could publish a book." And a vanity publisher would come to them and say, "You have a great book. Yeah, this looks good. I think you could publish it." And they're like, "Yeah, but no one will publish." I'm like, "Well, we do. We publish." And they're like, "Yeah, you do." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll happily publish your book. You know, get together and blah blah blah." And then you get together, and they're like, "How many books do you want? How many books?" You know, and they're like, "Well, you know, I was thinking, you know, maybe 10 or so." And they'll be like, "Well, it's good to publish or make at least 100. Would you like to make 100? We print 100?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, this is how much it's going to cost you." And then you have to pay all this money up front to publish this book, which is really just printing. And then you have this massive stack of this inventory of all these books.
Yeah.
And then you are responsible for selling them. It's just like brick and mortar comic shops. They order all of these comics from Marvel and DC, and then they're woke and nobody wants to buy them. And so then the brick and mortar is stuck with, you know, $20,000-$30,000 worth of comics that they can't sell.
Right.
So with Amazon, I don't have any inventory.
Okay.
And not only do I not have any inventory, I have no idea who's buying my books or where they're going.
Gotcha.
So it's not like I get an email and it's like, "Oh, I got to send this book to this guy in North Dakota. Let me go to the post office and you know, none of that." Amazon gets the specifics. They print that one book and they ship it to that one person. I'm just getting the money. So they're doing the heavy lifting. They're taking care of the printing. Like I said, there's no inventory. So they're not having a warehouse full of my books. I don't have a warehouse full of my books.
Right.
The only books that will exist are those that are purchased. As soon as they're purchased, they then get printed and shipped to wherever.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you know, again, it's an experiment. It's like a live and learn thing. And I'm relieved you are doing one book at a time instead of dropping all 10 at once. But I would just say you've got basically, you said like, is it going to be what, like next summer? Did you say like next summer when you're probably going to start?
Yeah, I'll probably drop the first book probably June or July. Yeah.
So basically you have a year. So again, I would say in this next year, try to connect with as many promoters on X, because I know that the comic promoters may not get too far with them because you're novels, right? But there are a lot.
Push the art.
Yeah, and that's cool. You know, you use whatever the fuck you need to use. You have art in your book, therefore
I'm trying to do my best to kind of tiptoe in between the novel community, right, the comic community, and if I can, any type of manga community. I don't know. I'm just trying my best.
Dude, I just am now tiptoeing in the role-playing community because my whole story is based off of fucking Dungeons and Dragons. You know what I mean? It's loosely based, but it's still the core of my story is all fucking D&D. And in fact, that leads us to next Sunday, because next Sunday night, there is a guy who's coming on. His name is Immortal Rising, because Immortal Rising is the name of his book. You've probably seen it on X because he posts on the fucking, the comic posts and shit. Immortal Rising, I don't know him. In fact, I just found out his real name like last week. But this dude, He seems cool. I checked out a couple of his videos. His book is like all D&D. Like he's been playing D&D for forever, and blah, blah, blah. And this adventure, he's like, long story short, he's like, fuck, I should make like a comic out of this, and so that's basically what he fucking did. And so
yeah, if you could get it so that people who are into D&D, like those circles are talking about your book, that would be great.
That's one of the targets, is because there's like comics, right? I can't do novels because mine's not a novel, but I can do comics. I can do role playing, and that's kind of about it. Where you can do novels, you can kind of get away with comics because of artwork in your novels and stuff. And then, like you said, manga, yeah, definitely. Hit as many things as you can relate your books to, and the better off you are. I need to step up my promoting, and I'm kind of doing that like right fucking now. Like this guy coming on next Sunday. I don't want to make a habit of interviewing people I don't know. You know what I mean? He's kind of an exception because I see him as a D&D guy. So he and I could fucking probably talk about D&D shit. Because I started playing when I was 12 fucking years old. You know what I mean? And I DM'd all through my teens and my 20s and college and all this shit. So I would imagine he and I can talk a lot about D&D stuff. And the fact that his comic is based on D&D, mine is again not as much as his, but mine is definitely D&D type stuff. We're kind of in the same corner of the arena. So I'm like, okay, this guy I know I can talk with. You know what I mean?
I think
what's that? No, go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the things I have, I think I have going for me is, one, I not only have the whole story written, so it's not like, I've written one book and now people got to wait years for me to write the next book and then the next book. But also because I have them broken into such small books, even though like I have like my biggest book is over 100,000 words, but like that's pretty tame.
Yeah,
it's particularly for fantasy.
When it comes to novels, the novel group.
Most of these books are pretty small. They're smaller than like thriller books, which are usually like 70,000 words. Right. Some of these are like 50, 60,000 words. And so if you're a fast reader, man, you'll chew right through these things.
Right.
And anyone who's into novels, like, especially like selling on Amazon, one of the tricks they all say is like, you just got to write a lot of books. It's not so much like, it's difficult getting somebody to read your book when they don't know you.
Right. Oh, yeah.
As soon as they know you,
they're
like, well, that other book was pretty cool. Or if it's a continuation of the series, then you have that extra advantage of, well, I've read him before and he was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the story was pretty cool. I'd like to see where it goes. With this, it's 10 books all together.
Yeah.
It's all one long series.
Right.
So in theory, if all I got to do is get people to pick up the first book.
First one. Yeah.
And if they like it, then they should shoot all the way through and buy them all.
Yeah.
And so in theory, one person should equal $10.
Yeah. And again, you will find out once it happens, but it's a lot of predictions end up just, going this way instead of this way. It's just how it is, man. There's so much shit that I didn't know about just 2 years ago compared to my first campaign last year. Because I've only been doing the campaign thing for a year. It was last August whatever 30th, when I launched the campaign for volume 1, and now I'm doing volume 2. So it's only been a year of my crowdfunding experience, and I have learned so much shit. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And with you being on Amazon, you're gonna like learn a whole different avenue of stuff, because I don't do Amazon. I'm doing crowdfunding. You know what I mean? But anyways, the point is, you're already establishing some connections here. Me and Danny and whoever. Keep doing that. You have a whole year to do it. Definitely one book at a time, man. I would say one every 2 months. You could probably even do one every 3 months. And think about that. 10 books, you can stretch that out over a year. So for over a year, you could be dropping books. Here's the next one. Here's the next one. You know what I mean?
There's websites where like it'd be cool to do it, but I don't think people make money off of it. I think it's a free thing. But it'd be cool if there could be some type of subscription kind of thing.
Yeah.
To where people sign up and then like I could just drip one chapter per week.
Oh, there's all sorts of that shit, dude. That's man.
Yeah, I'm saying that exists, but I don't think people make money off of it. I think it's like
I don't know how it works. I haven't gone.
But that would be cool because I got a lot of chapters all together. So it'd be like a
make a list, dude.
For
try
like
it.
over a year.
There's a platform. It's like digital comics, okay? Like Star Million, the one promoter, he was on here like a month ago. His comic, he sold more digital copies than hard copies. You know what I mean? Because they're cheaper and they're fucking convenient. Dude, he gave me his 28-page book like that on my fucking phone. You know, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, and I mean, sharp, clear pictures.
If I wanted to make money, like that's my goal, then digital would be the route. Because like I said, like my biggest book, right? Like my price will be $10.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm only going to profit $1.
Yeah. You'd profit digitally.
But if I went digitally, then, you know, I could charge only like $3.
Yeah.
And there's no profit or there's
charge
no
$5, man. There. Don't go below $5. Every comic I've seen digitally, even $5 is like a steal. I mean, most digital comics are $10. You know
I tell you, for novels, I mean, as much time as people spend, a lot of novels, they're like 99 cents.
Really?
Jeez, you can find a lot of them that are for free.
That's messed up.
Wow. You'll see them. They'll be like, buy the book, $9.99, or do the Kindle ebook for free.
Yeah. See, again, I don't really know.
I think that's like a subscription thing. So people are paying. People are paying like Amazon, Kindle, whatever subscription.
Yeah. And
then they can read any book in the list for free. I think that's what. So it's sort of like a Netflix
that's what.
Kind of
thing. That's one of the options for digital. Yeah, it is. That's one of the options for digital. I looked into that because that's what a lot of people do. There's this site called Comixology, Comixology. It's a website specifically for your digital comics. You know, you drop your digital comic and I don't like that for some reason for myself. If I do digital, the way I'll go is the whole PDF thing. You know, you get your book on a PDF, and then per customer, backer, whatever, you email them your book on PDF, and it's $10, whatever the fuck it is. I haven't even decided on that yet. That's one of those things where it's like, well, maybe eventually I'll do that. But right now I'm just concerned about, getting the book finished, getting it printed, and shipping it out. Because a lot of people, at least when it comes to comic people, including myself, I would much rather have a book in my hands, you know what I mean, than on my fucking phone.
Yeah.
It's just not the same. It's just not the same. I love a book with a shiny cover, and I don't know. It's something about having a fucking book is different than having it on your phone or your tablet. You know what I'm saying? Me
personally, I mean, I know I'll have, I've got ISBNs on all these books.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have, I'll have the copyright on them. But with me, I just have a hesitation to uploading anything digital. Because as soon as it's digital, then people can just mass copy it.
They can pirate it. I know.
And also with my artwork, the images can be snipped out and then mass produced or whatever.
That's why I don't only post certain things, man.
And
because
so I'm like,
you take screenshots of shit.
Yeah, and if I print these physical, I mean, sure, someone could flip and be like page 1, and then
it's a lot harder.
It'd be so hard to try and read It's so much. So
it's a lot harder, and it would cost money to pirate a physical book.
All these images, and no one's going to do that bullshit.
But digitally, man, you can do it like this. So again, everything, dude, it's like such a weighing thing.
The pros and cons, man.
Everything has like equal amount. There's like an equal amount of pros and cons for hardcover, for fucking material books, hard print, whatever the fuck you call it, and digital. It's just amazing. It's just I am dealing with the fucking hard copies right now because that's what I like. Digital is an option. If I do it, it's going to be the whole PDF thing because that's what Star Million did. He just fucking sent me on my phone his here you go, bam. Holy shit, that was fast and it looks fucking great. You know what I mean? Yeah. I look into PDFs, but it's a memory thing. They take up a lot of space, and therefore, and if you send to someone, their PDF opener may not support.
It's like a data corruption.
There's all these fucking things where it's like, Jesus Christ, it's nothing fucking easy. Nothing's easy. So it's like, okay, I'll just stick to print copies and fucking ship it to them, and that's what I'm doing. So anyways, as for you got a year to figure shit out, and you got already some people. But I would just say, man, try to make as many connections as you can. Try to find as many of these promoters on X that you can because they're free. And then when the time comes, you can pay for more promotion. But I would say take advantage of the free promotion as much as you can because it's there. It's free, dude. And these people are cool. They're willing to help. It's that whole you do for me, I do for you,
Cool thing on YouTube is there's like two little like sub communities on YouTube. Mm-hmm. One is called BookTube, and one is called
I've heard of that.
And one is called Authors Tube. And so those two things kind of overlap, but ultimately they're these like sub communities of people who like reading books and others who like writing books.
Yeah.
And so if I could get into some of that stuff, that would super duper charge because there's like a whole I wouldn't call it a trope, but it's a trend for sure. And it's not good when people it tends to go bad. But anyway, these people they make a good name for themselves making videos on YouTube, and they critique books, they give writing advice, they do this for like years, like 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
And then after they do all these videos for years talking about if you're a writer, you need to do this and you shouldn't do that. And these books are great because of this, and these books are bad because of this. After doing that for years, they're like, well, I think I should write a book. And then they write it, and they're like, hey, all my 300,000 subscribers, I wrote a book. And guess what? Most of those people want to buy it. Yeah. They do. And they read it, and it's terrible. And they're like, what happens. The hell? Why did you lecture us for 4 years about all the do's and don'ts about writing, and you didn't watch any of those videos? You didn't listen?
Exactly.
You broke all your rules. You're a terrible writer.
Dude, it's a very complicated, it is very complicated industry. And I mean, we are indie. We are fucking bottom of the fucking level, independent authors and artists and shit. I don't even want to fucking know how it is in the actual establishment, the actual, industry, comic book industry, novel industry, all that shit. Dude, it's going to be a fucking nightmare. It has to be. Like that, I'm like, I don't want anything part of that. I'm like, I want to be my own boss, do my own shit, period. That's it. And if I make a little bit of money, fine with me, because at least I'm still in charge of my own shit, as opposed to making a bunch of money and be constantly told what to do, how to do it. No, not this way, and this way, and fucking this. And don't talk about this on social media. And you better not be voting for this guy on social media. I mean, you see the fucking nightmare? It's like, no, fuck all you. I'm doing my own shit. And this
with books, there's this interesting thing. It's a terrible, annoying thing in the mainstream industry, which is a delay on the publishing. And so basically, let's say there's a trend about bank heists.
Okay.
So bank heists. It's the coolest thing. And I am into it. So I'm going to write a book.
Right.
Well, it might take a year for me to write that book.
Mm.
And then after I write that book, I go to a publisher and they think, that's a great book. We're going to publish it. We're going to sign you. And it's like, great. Okay, so I do all the paperwork. I'm in. We're good. All right. Well, I'm already a year behind the ball.
Mm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that bank heist shit, that was cool last year.
Right. It's not trendy anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of fading a little bit. It's not as cool. But it gets worse. Because I'm not the only person who's been signed by this publisher. They have 5 or 6 other people that they've already signed, and they're waiting.
Wow.
See, they, as the publisher, they're going to publish a book, and then they're going to promote it for like 8 or 9 months.
Yeah.
And after 8 or 9 months, they publish the next book in line.
Right.
And then they promote it for about 8 or 9 months. And then they publish the next book. So my book, even though I just got signed today, might not actually hit shelves until 3 or 4 years later.
Jesus, that sucks.
And so by the time it hits the market, we're like 5 years past the trend of the bank heist.
Right.
And so then everyone's like, oh, another bank heist book?
Yeah.
I've already read those before. What else you got? Oh, there's something about dragons. That looks cool.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, it's like I said, it's not easy doing this.
With this direct publishing on Amazon, I can write my book, go straight to publish.
Yeah. Well, again, I hope the hell it works, but I'll be there to back you up from now until that time, man. So we're gonna wrap this up. We are over 2 hours now. So again, thanks for hanging out, man. And like I said, I'll be posting, something on Twitter this week about Sunday night, but Sunday night should be cool because this guy seems like a cool guy. And I hope. Sunday. What's that?
D&D on Sunday.
Yeah, I hope. Obviously, we better get into some fucking D&D talk. I want to, give him the chance to promote his campaign because he's got I think it's Indiegogo. He's got a campaign. And so obviously we'll talk about that. But yeah, I'm hoping he just we kick back and start kind of bouncing off fucking D&D tales. Shit. We'll see. It's up to him.
Stories from the basement.
Yeah, man, it's up to him. But it's just, I know I'm like, well, we got that in common. And usually sometimes that's all you need to have in common when it comes to like gaming and role playing, man. If you can have something to talk, you got that in common, that's all you need. So that'll be Sunday. And then, things are getting busier. Things are definitely getting busier. And I'll talk more about that as time goes on. But in the meantime, thanks again for the last 2 times and for going over all this shit with Volume 1. I've been wanting someone to kind of do this for a while, and you're the first person to step up and do it. So I appreciate it. And
thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, man, we can do it again sometime. Like on a downtime, if it's like a Sunday night, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do, let me just do a casual stream. I'll get with you and say, hey, let's continue where we left off. Let's fucking, you know what I mean? Because this is cool. This is no stress for me. I don't have to do shit. Just hang out. That's what I actually like to do. So anyways, that's that. So everyone, whoever's watching or afterwards, thank you. I'm going to end this stream with the Volume 2 trailer again. So Tyler, I've already remembered. I'm going to message you that tape video. You'll be getting that in about 5 to 10 minutes. All right, man. It's a great rant. Okay, brother. So you take care, and I'll be talking to you on X and all that other shit. Right, man?
All righty, man. I'll see y'all later.
All right, you too. Good night, everyone.
Are you an angel? I heard your prayers, Sarah.
I think the church's prayers have gone unanswered.
God stopped listening to us a long time ago.